Greetings everybody and welcome back to another livestream recap. As you might know, I'm ImagineerDave, the host of this channel, and I work towards Minecraft's most realistic railway. That being said, today I'd like to take you into the episodes 171 till 180 of the Create SMP series. So let's dive right into what happened starting at episode 171. In episode 171 I started off by expanding the rails that currently ended over at the branch line station. These new rails will eventually lead up to Cozy's base over in the east. After this was done, it was time to do some more decorating along the current branch line to make it ready for future videos. After this quick little breakaway from the heavy work in episode 171, we returned to duty in number 172. In this episode, we started to make room for the new shunting system that I developed both on and off stream. After the construction of a special tunnel bore, it was time to hollow out the space which was necessary for the redstone. Later on, we finished off the episode by expanding the shuntyard on the surface to accommodate more freight in the future. Continuing off episode 172, in episode 173 we started to remove the current wagons and building all the redstone required for the new shunting system. This new system relies on portable storage and fluid interfaces that are being read out by a computer. Alongside this, the redstone is able to couple up new wagons when they enter the stack and can individually control the couplers to decouple parts of this stack. Although all of the hardware for the system is complete, I still need to work on the software side. Currently we can only manually shunt cars, but eventually I want the system to collect certain types, whether they are empty or full, and for the system to calculate optimal sequences by itself. In between episodes 173 and 174, I noticed that we needed a bigger yard signal box in order to fit the new monitor for the system. Whilst trying, I first designed a gantry signal box, but in the end it felt a little too big for the shunt yard, and so it became the base for a new station entry signal box. For a while I thought about adding a new main signal box since the old one was, well, quite small. Besides this, there was still no control box for the rail bridge to open and close. In episode 174 we built this new signal box in-game, and it now houses both the signal levers for the station and also the controls for the bridge. Well, of course, after our previous designed yard control box got used for something else, I went and designed a new control box in between episodes. At least by now, I knew that the signal box had to be smaller than the first design in order to fit the area, and well, we got a new signal box out of it. And here it is, in the same style as the gantry signal box, but yet a lot smaller. It still houses enough upstairs room to fit the monitor easily, but at least this one doesn't take over the whole shuntyard. This new signal box was constructed in-game in episode 175, and when the system was rerouted to this new one, it was time to destroy the old, smaller one. Whilst destroying the old control box, I actually thought to myself that I still had to destroy some rolling stock as well. These old wagons were not up to date with the standards needed for the shunt system to work, and therefore had to go. Even though it feels like more things were destroyed in this episode than built, it was actually all in preparation for the future of the shuntyard, of course. After all, I still wanted this area and the station to be busy with movements, and well, this was a great step towards it. This whole new shunting system actually led me to realize something. I also still had to redo the system for the station shunting to get rid of all of the bugs that were there. After doing the coding off stream, I installed the whole system in episode 176. This would fix trains going to the wrong wagons after a restart and also would save a lot of resources, of course. After this, it was time to relax for a bit and work on some decorations around the area. The surroundings of the turntable, for example, got finished off, and the front of the station finally received some much needed greenery. Episode 177 started off with some deforestation to make a new link for the road network. Sadly enough, not all materials were on site yet, so I had to call in the big guns. All jokes aside, in episode 177 it was time to build a road alongside the station tracks that are in front of the signal gantry. For a long while I had been staring into a dark forest on this side of the railway, whilst at the other side there was a big factory complex. A bit of a harsh contrast. Together with this idea of fixing the harsh contrast and also the need for a better route for the buses coming from Lower Shepperton, I started working on the road which would eventually connect the Lower Shepperton viaduct to the factories near the shuntyard. This new road was of course a small part of a bigger plan, but more on that came in the next episode. Since the plan was actually to link Lower Shepperton to the factory docks, it was time to add another bridge to our area in episode 178. This new bridge would cross the harbour and connect the newly laid road to the dockside. This new bridge is based on an earlier built one over the end of the main street. However, this one has some fancier landings and slopes to get onto it. When the bridge was done, it was time to hook it up over at the Lower Shepperton side. By starting the curve into the bridge early, we could make room for another smaller road that would lead up to the signal box. And well, that was one side connected. Time to work on the other side, I guess. And in episode 179 we did. I started on designing the slope that would connect the bridge with the dockside by placing tracks to align the copycats underneath. But this one was a great and easy way to check the alignment without having to use a car or a bus over and over again. After the design was done, it was of course time to remove some trees again, and after that to build the connection in game. After this was done, Lower Shepperton and the dockside were finally connected and the buses ready to make a loop. Now that this new bridge and interlandings were done, I had one problem. We had a new border to area which had to be filled in. In episode 180, I decided to continue along with the dockside to prepare for future constructions. By removing the terraforming and reshaping the waterfront a bit, I could make a free plot of land where a bit of a bigger building could actually fit. However, after building this, it was time to end the episode, and with that, this recap. So if you are curious for that building, stay tuned for the next recap. And of course, with that being said, that was it for this livestream recap. This recap surely packed a punch and showed that this world has a big technical component besides the normally seen architectural projects. This combination is much needed for me, since it's one of the factors that keeps me working on it. As always, I want to thank you so much for following along, as it really helps me to stay motivated and make more plans. If you want to check out these live streams, be sure to join my Discord down below to get notified when I'm live, or follow me here on YouTube to get community notifications. If you are looking for schematics, some can be found over at my Discord and others at my Patreon page. Again, I'd like to thank you for watching. This is ImagineerDave signing off, so bye bye!